Do you run out of content on a day-to-day basis? Are you worried about not having a content surplus for your business? This system that I'm going to teach you in this video is the solution to that problem. So we're going to talk today about a content engine. Now, in the same way you would have with most engines, right? The job is for it to fuel something. In 95% of cases, it's going to fuel your marketing. Okay, you need to think about how you create your content. There's a couple of other videos I have done already talking about habit building related to content and specific. In this scenario specifically, I'm going to talk about how I utilize a long form piece, right, that's inside this box. So we're going to call it a long form piece, and I turn it into a set of short form pieces, and then also written content, audio content on its own as well, and also utilizing AI to help with this process. So let's quickly talk about what your long form piece could be. It could be some presentation style stuff like I've been doing today, specifically showcasing specific skill sets, specific understandings, or specific hurdles that your audience struggles with. Okay. B, it could be a podcast specifically. That's the key one. That's something that I'm seeing more people should be doing because there's high demand for long form conversation. With the advent of AI, people want to connect in person a little bit more, and this could be a really strong application or a really strong opportunity for you to actually have a podcast, okay? As long as it's long form, meaning longer than 25 minutes or 20 minutes, will mean you can use this strategy specifically, okay? So you've got your long form piece. In this case, I'm going to talk about a podcast. Replace the word podcast with webinar or long explanation, talk, etc. Okay? But you'll have your podcast episode. This is your polished episode. Then out of that, you're going to put it into a program called Ops Clips. Okay? Now what this is going to do is it's going to give you 24 to sometimes 26 short form clips, okay? The job of these clips is to push traffic to this thing, okay? Cool, right. So that's your short form pretty much sorted. Now, little byproduct, little buy thing that I would recommend you do when it comes to branding to make things feel cohesive. Pick your font, pick your brand colors, pick your typography, come across when you do this and build it into what's called a brand template. Right? Completely spelt wrong. Apologies for dyslexia. Right? Brand template. And what this will do is whenever you send something to Ops Clips, it will specifically mean it's going to match your typography, it's going to match your colors. You can also add an open hook in regards to the music or a riser equivalent. You can also add your logo. Now be careful with how you utilize your logo. The key here is to add value to your audience and potentially try and push them from these 24 clips, 26 clips that you're going to post across all of your social media to this longer form piece here. Now, you may be thinking it's not really an engine, Colin. Right now, you can get a manual editor to come in and create things like trailers. Okay. You could also, if you're a skilled editor, you know a skilled editor, you're willing to invest money outside of AI as well, you could also get what I call person, so P, short form clips. So personally, these are ones I edit myself, okay? Now, I'm going to do another video in this session talking about structure of videos. Every single piece of content, this piece of content, this piece of content, this trailer, and these short pieces of content should follow that model. I'll leave it linked in the description down below if you're interested. But very quickly on this engine, you send it to Ops Clips, you get 26 or roughly around 25 clips per video you send. Cool. You can then also get it outsourced as a trailer. You can then also get maybe 10 longer form clips. So maybe these are going to be 90 seconds long specifically, and these are designed for Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels equivalent. You're then going to get maybe some longer, more nuanced ones that are maybe between 10 minutes to 15 minutes cut by a human for LinkedIn specifically. And this is about creating unique content for each platform you're going to post to. But the benefit, if you do have these content pieces already, is you can also post them to your YouTube channel where this one sits. So people might see one of these personal social media or short form clips, and then they might go, oh cool, I want to see the full clip or the full podcast in this case. The same, especially if you set up a call to action on the end of these clips to allow you to push people here. Now you may be wondering, Colin, how do you make money from that? It's all about having a content ecosystem that allows people to always keep you top of mind, so when they want what you sell, they're going to come to you instead of going to a competitor. But this is not it, this is not all, okay? Because you have a long form piece of content and you have a podcast, you can also export just the audio file, okay? Because you're doing just audio, you can then put that, if you want to, as on the podcast platforms, or you can push this long form piece out onto all the podcast platforms, okay? So then you have even more ways of people finding you. And the final thing you can do is you can then output the transcript. So this will be every single thing that is said by you and the guest, or you in the long form piece, out into something like ChatGPT, right? Now I've done videos on how you can actually help ChatGPT understand your tone, your tonality, your brand, your business, etc. And once you give it this transcript, you can then get it to output a load of blogs for you, right? Or a blog or a set of blogs if you have a set of key topics. So what we've got here is one specific long form video that maybe takes you an hour, maybe 2 to film by the time you've set up, etc. From this one long form video, you're going to get 26 short form clips plus 10 to 15 minute, like maybe 10 of those personal clips, along with then, if you want to outsource it again and you want to pay someone to actually make a trailer for you that you can use as the opening of this long form piece as well. But then also you've got the audio chunks, so you can either cut those chunks up, but then also you've got more than enough blogs. Let's say you on average talk about 10 topics, right, on this podcast. That's 10 blogs specifically, right? So from this is how you can have a constant flow of content coming out without having to do actually that much work, because this is your feeder for your ecosystem. Then you have AI generated contents to help fill in any gaps or look for trends and start really gaining data on what's working, followed by then the personal driven stuff that should follow the hook, delivery ad, and then call to action format specifically. So this is the format I would use personally if I was starting out today and I wanted to create as much content and gain as much awareness around my business and my brand as humanly possible in a short window of time. And the only thing you do if you want to continue to do this more and more is you just times the number of these pieces as much as possible. And Alex Hormozi has been really known for this. You just do content really well, you just do outreach really well, you just do networking really, really well. And if you're going to use a model like content, this could be a very strong indicator for you, because it allows you to really leverage your time really effectively, and also leverage AI, leverage technology, leverage maybe a writing style. If you don't feel confident or you don't want to, for moral reasons, use ChatGPT here, what you can do is you can output that transcript to a copywriter, and then what they're going to do is they're going to potentially write blogs off that podcast, or you can give them the full podcast and say, can you write us a blog about this from these main topics, and break it up into smaller chunks if you want, or one massive topic. It depends on the nuanced strategy of how you want to do your SEO as well. But there's absolutely loads that you can do once you have this content format or this content engine really rolling for you. So I hope you took value from this video. If you would like to hear more from me about this and many, many other of the struggles that you may be struggling with content, or struggling with how to utilize AI, and maybe you're scared of AI, you think it could take your job, etc., then I'm running an event on the 11th of September this year. I would love to see you there. Link to tickets are down in the description down below, and they're just £10. So thank you ever so much for watching.